Welcome to the block party. My name is Seth Kushner. I am joined by somebody fresh off a White House visit, Stanley Cup champion, Braydon Coburn. Kobe, welcome back to the block party.
Seth, thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Dude, listen, Kobe, I love you so much on the block party. Let's just get, all right, maybe I shouldn't pour my heart out, but like, I want to do this with you, okay? I want to do the block party with you, and I'm going to start getting into, if you found anything to take your time up during retirement, but like, I think that you've got the personality for something like this. Have you thought about getting into this world at all?
You know what? I just enjoy going on and doing stuff. And I had a lot of fun last interview we did. I thought it was great for me, and it was good to get like stuff out there too, kind of post retirement and right off the announcement. And it was funny. I had friends that were coming up to me and they were like, "Hey man, I listened to the block party and I'm so glad I did because, Seth was asking questions that I wanted to ask you and never had the courage to." So they're like, I didn't know you felt like that, or whatever it was. But
wait, hold on one second. They're doing the lawn. I gotta close the window. Come on, guys. Come on. I got a Stanley Cup champion in here, and you guys are being disrespectful. Sorry, it's not like I'm rich. I just live in a townhouse. They come and they do the lawn and stuff. So wow, so you got a lot of feedback about the block party. So that makes me feel like I'm a big time star now.
Dude, they loved you. They said I was a minor inconvenience on your show, but you carried it.
Listen, okay, so just tell me, let's talk about, we'll get into the good stuff in a little bit, but talk to me. I feel like we probably had a chat, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 months ago, fresh off retirement, just feeling things out. Have you started to kind of find that routine? What are you getting into? What's taking up your day? Or is it still just a lot of dedication to the kids at this point?
Yeah, I've been doing things that I wasn't able to do when I was playing. I've been skiing a couple times now, and I never got a chance to do that. And just feels just amazing to be able to do that and share that with friends and family. And we've got the opportunity to go up north, and we had kind of a long Christmas break. So I felt like I was like, one part of me was like, man, I could definitely like become a ski bum up here. This is great. But it's a pretty good feeling to come back to Florida, and it's January, and you're like, oh yeah, that's why I live here. It's amazing. So yeah, I've been doing stuff like that. Skiing. I got to do my first hockey tournament with my daughter. We took her team actually up to Virginia, DC area. Wow. So we took them all up there, and it was funny because when we were up there, I remember thinking, and we did a little tour after the tournament was done and went down to DC, and we were standing right outside the White House. And I was thinking, man, it's too bad that we didn't get a chance as a team to go see the White House. And because you're way out in the gates, right? And you're kind of looking at the White House in a distance. You're like, oh, that's so cool. Like, I'd love to see that up close. And I remember thinking, it's too bad it never worked out. And when Breezer gave me a call and let me know that he was inviting me and some of the other guys like McElhaney and to join the team and we're going to do our visit. It was, I was over the moon. I couldn't say yes quick enough.
All right. So Kobe's getting into it right now. So I'll ask about, skiing injuries and being a hockey dad in a second, but I had heard when you guys, before it was officially announced, I had heard that you were going. I heard McElhaney was going. I thought that was just phenomenal. Then I saw the picture with Matthew Joseph and I go, wow, this can't get any better. So tell me how. And it makes total sense that you guys were there, by the way. I mean, but tell me how you found out that you were able to go and who came up with the idea to start calling you guys.
Yeah. I don't know who came up with the idea, but whoever did, thank you.
No problem.
Yeah. So Brian Breesman, he got a hold of me and he was like, hey, listen, this is kind of in the works right now. We're trying to make this happen. What would your availability be like? And I was like, I'll doesn't matter. I'll make it happen. So once we kind of squared down a date, I knew I text Curtis and I was like, hey man, like, when are you flying in? Let's try to set something up. So me and him were able to, while the boys were playing Sunday night in Florida, we set up a little former teammates lunch date, and we did a little night out on the town before our visit. So it was good to catch up with Curtis and I'm kicking myself because we should have fired something in the old 20 2020 Lightning group chat, but I didn't know that Joe was going to be there. I didn't realize, I think he came down with a little bit of an injury, so allowed him to join us, but it would have been nice to catch up with them too. But we saw him the next morning and the whole day. So it was fun.
Listen, what was it like to be around the guys again in that capacity? I mean, it's got to be a weird setting just to be in the White House, but to be around, all your teammates and that celebrating, your victories. How was that for you?
It was an amazing feeling. It really was. It was kind of one of those things. I know we talked a lot. We're like, oh, this is going to be so awesome when we get together and, 10, 20 years for a Stanley Cup reunion type of thing. And for me, it was, just a couple of years, a year later. So it was awesome just to see all the guys and I've been following the team very closely and seeing how well they're doing and just kind of pass on to them like, guys, keep it going. You guys got this for sure. It was cool. And then I got to fly with the team. I'm very thankful I got that opportunity because, the Lightning travel in style and it's, nobody really likes traveling commercial. If you have a private plane with a bunch of great guys, you get to travel back instead. And, I was a card player when I played and I got right back into the game. Thank you, Cal Foote, for allowing me to jump in your spot. Good kid.
Oh, wow. Wow. So I think we talked about the old card game last time. I don't remember. Pointer, somebody would get mad. You told me. So who's
it's the Sorelli Point bickering. It's just back and forth. It's one of the wonders of the world. It's really something else. But we had a lot of laughs and it was fun and it was really cool for me to do that and just kind of catch up with all the guys at that level.
All right, listen, we skipped over the whole White House visit. So, I mean, what just give me
I'm all over the place.
No, you're good. No, you're good. That's it. I got it right now. Just tell me, I don't know if I'm ever going to go to the White. And if I ever go to the White House, I'm going on a tour like, a regular idiot. I'm not getting the treatment like you. I heard they let you guys loose in the Oval Office. I mean, tell me what it was like compared to what you thought it might be like in your head.
Yeah. They dropped us off. The bus dropped us off right outside. And I thought maybe there would be some sort of like heavy frisking on the way in. But, for the most part, it was, and I understand there's eyes on you all the time. And you don't really know you're being watched. There's cameras all over the place and whatnot. But, we just went through kind of a simple metal detector. And obviously we all probably had background checks before we went there. But yeah, we really had the amount of freedom they allowed us to have, just kind of walking around and checking out different areas. I remember one time I was like, I asked one of the people in charge there, I was like, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom. They're like, okay, just down the stairs over here. And I remember going downstairs, walking into, I guess what it would be a library. And then the bathroom was kind of off there. And I'm looking around and I'm like, man, I'm in this library in the White House, like all by myself. It was such a cool and surreal feeling. It's neat to see, but just the amount of freedom they allowed us, and you really felt like a guest. It was fantastic.
Listen, be honest with me. I don't have that many viewers, but listen, did you steal anything from the White House? Did you take anything where you go, oh man, this looks good. This book in the library, I might want to give this a read one time. Or did anybody take anything? I think I might have.
Well, there is, I took two things. Two things. Yeah. When I went into the bathroom from the library, there was a guy leaving and there was little paper napkin towelettes with the seal of the president of the United States on the towelettes to wash your hands and then throw them in the waste bin. And he's like, oh, these are cool. And I was like, yeah, those are really cool. And when I walked into the White House, I didn't see a gift shop or anything like that on the way in. So I was like, you know what? I'll take two of these little towelettes just in case I don't get any sort of souvenir. We end up getting some pins and stuff, but yeah, I have two little paper napkin towelettes that I stuffed in my suit pocket. And I was like, well, if nothing else, I have these to kind of commemorate my visit to the White House. So,
well, I'm glad I asked that question. I was not expecting an answer, but hey, listen, you got to grab what they have in the towelettes if that's all they have to offer. Was there any chirping going on, between the Americans and the Canadians or anything like that? I mean, the Americans were just severely outnumbered in the White House. I mean, I think it was like 5-1. Was there any chirping about that at all? Or you just were all one team going in there?
I feel like they made some comments about hopefully we don't have to go see whatever the Canadian Prime Minister's house, because I don't think the scope and the scale is quite the same. But it's such an iconic place, and you see these movies and TV shows are all based there, and you have a certain idea in your head what this place looks like, and just to see it in person, and then some of those ideas are radically changed about how big it is, or kind of what the way the decor is, and the amount of people there, and who's there. But it was fantastic just to put it all into a visit, and just really being able to look around, and then you kind of immerse yourself in the history of the whole place. It's fantastic.
Who took the most pictures? Who'd you see just nonstop out with the phone?
Ah, good question. I was given strict instructions by my kids to record and take as many pictures. So I might have been in that category. I feel like I took a picture of almost every painting in there, which was, there was a lot of paintings in there, and I have quite a few videos. So, but I didn't take enough pictures of myself beside paintings. I got a lot of criticism from my kids afterwards for that. But
Yeah, you need
you
that.
can't be perfect. You can't be perfect. But yeah, it was everyone was gracious. There was security there that were extremely helpful and explaining, hey, give you any questions, and they had little finger food and a little cocktail hour for us to kind of walk around and take it all in. So yeah, you felt definitely pretty special.
So, I mean, you shook the president's hand.
Yeah, I shook his hand. He asked where I was from, told him Shawnee, Saskatchewan, and he kind of gave me the old nod. And I told him that I'd actually met his wife one time before. She's a Philadelphia girl, so when I was playing in Philadelphia, there she had made an appearance. I think I don't even know if he might have been the vice president at that time. I think maybe he had just been elected with President Obama. So she came, and I told him, I met your wife, and he was like, oh, that's great. She's a diehard Philly fan, he said. So it was a really cool experience. And I think the part that was really neat was when we got to go to the Oval Office, and for the most part, he kind of just shot the shit with us, and it was a neat thing. You're kind of looking around and just like, this is unbelievable that I get to do this right now.
Really? So he was just like, he wasn't like President Joe Biden. He was just like Joe Biden with you guys in the Oval Office.
That was the best part. He seemed just like any other guy. He was funny. He was making fun of himself. He kind of made a joke about how old he was. It was he was an extremely personable guy, and I'm very grateful for his hospitality.
Now, are you disappointed in Victor Hedman for cracking up when President Biden said Gary Batman instead of Batman? And it's been all over. I saw it. It's national news now that Hedman was cracking up during that. Did you catch that when it was happening?
I was kind of watching for something like that, because I remember, I think it was President Clinton, when the Red Wings were at the White House, he screwed up Yzerman's name so bad, like Weiserman, or, I can't remember exactly how he pronounced it. And, he's doing his speech, and we can also see the teleprompter, what he's going to say. And so I see it coming up, and first it was Jeffrey Vinnick, and he just went Jeffrey. And then it was Steven Stamkos, and I was like, oh, here it is. He's going to mess up Stamkos for sure. And he just went Steven. And later on, a couple seconds later, it was Gary Bettman. He was going to acknowledge Gary Bettman, and he went Gary Bettman, but he got that one wrong. So, I was kind of like anticipating some sort of gaffe, I guess you could say. And he didn't disappoint.
No, you got it. We got the viral moment. And I'm surprised Hattie, out of everybody, a very mature guy, the one that it seemed like that really broke him. So I don't know.
Yeah. I think, they had Hetty right behind him, so it was perfect. But I'm sure if you would have had the wide shot, you would have seen quite a few guys kind of give a good snicker.
Man, hopefully the wide shot will be released one day. So listen, we mentioned flying back and you getting in the poker game with the guys. You explained what a great feeling that was. Were you expecting to go back with the team? How did they kind of deliver that news to you?
The Lightning, they're such a first-class organization, and they fly you up there, put you in the hotel with the team, and they kind of let us know that, hey, we got extra seats on the plane. You're more than welcome to come with us if you want. And it's like, let me think about that for 1 millisecond. Yes, of course, So it was they've got a new plane since I played too. They got they're using the Delta charter service instead of the old one. So they've definitely it's nice new digs. It was great.
All right, so give me some insight, just, being around the team. They're struggling for a little bit. If you want to say a team that has 100 points in a season can struggle. It got hot, very hot as of late. I think we've been waiting for that to happen. Being around the guys, you said you followed them this year, seeing them, having won a championship with them. What do you see out of them this year and being around them? Is it the same kind of quiet confidence they've had the last couple of years?
I'm like super excited for them. I think they have just such a great team. They got some gamers they've added. Obviously at the beginning of the year, I played with Belmar in Philly. I know what kind of guy he is. He's like one of those guys when playoffs roll around, man, you want him. Obviously, Corey Perry, this guy's got more grit, more competitiveness than anybody in the league. And I've known him since we were, 17 years old, coming up through the Canadian junior program together. So I know him well, and I know what a pain it is to play against. And then, they're in a tough situation, and they had a great year. And, I was looking at their cap situation kind of right around the trade deadline, and I'm like, what are they going to do? Like, how are they going to even add anybody? Brisebois does his magic again, adds a player that I'm really familiar with from my short time in Ottawa, Nick Paul. And I love this guy. I think he is such a great addition. And then Hagel's a great addition too, but I don't know him as well. And I played with Paul, so I can't say enough good things about him. He's such a great addition. You're going to see what he can do in playoffs, and Stammer having the year he's had. I don't know. We all know he's a great player, and he's a Hall of Fame player. He's probably the greatest Bolt of all time.
Yeah.
He's going to have all the records. But just the year he's had, I don't know if anyone is more, he might be surprised about how great of a year he has. And I think he's so hot right now. It's perfect. He's been healthy all season, and you got the best goalie in the league and the best defenseman in the league, and Cooch is playing the way he has, and Pointer's healthy. I really feel like the stars are aligned for them to make this run and make this a three-peat here.
When you said that you were looking kind of at the cap situation at the deadline, did you think the Lightning needed to make a move, that they needed a boost?
Well, I think the mentality of a team is always, let's get some reinforcements, even if we don't need them, because how playoffs are. It's an absolute grind. It's a war out there, and sometimes it's just about surviving more than anything. And you got to have depth. And the Lightning have always been, they've always had great depth, and this just solidifies their depth throughout their lineup. And these guys are character guys, and they do different things and parts and pieces of the team. I think they've gelled in nice. Obviously, there's always a little bit of an adjustment period right after the trade deadline, but the way these guys are playing as of late, with huge statement wins against Toronto, Florida, I watch those games closely. Like I came away feeling really, really good about those games. So
there we go.
The way they match up with those games.
Okay, perfect. We heard it from an expert. Now, we did obviously Stamkos 100 points this season, big deal. But I do want to reflect on your 44-point season for the Portland Winterhawks. I believe back in 2004. I think that was your career high in points, and I think we can celebrate Stammer. But I also want to give you a recognition for the big 44 back in the day.
Oh yeah, perfect. Thank you. Yeah,
were you a scoring machine?
I don't think about my junior hockey career much, but. It's always nice to reflect.
Well, listen, you were quite the sniper back then, so that's why I thought I had to bring it up. Now, did you busted out your ring when you went to the White House, right?
Absolutely. I had, I think I wore it my Stanley Cup party we had in my hometown in Shawinigan, Saskatchewan, and I feel like that. Every once in a while, someone comes over, they want to see it, so we'll bust it out. But it was I think only the second time kind of I had an opportunity to bust it out. Felt pretty good. So when you put it away, do you go, when am I going to bust this thing out again? You know what? I just put it away and I'm like, I just got to remember where I put this.
Okay. Now I want to get back to talking about skiing and you talking about I don't know if we touched on last time about you being a hockey dad. I just had Coach Cooper on, had Girardi on. St. Louis, Vinny. I mean, all these guys have talked about like their kids playing hockey, and it's hard for them, you know, to sometimes not say things. Chris Dingman, especially now, you know, he's a coach. How is it for you? You seem like you could be a calm guy. Does stuff bother you? Does stuff get under your skin when you see it with your daughter? How are you as a hockey parent?
Yeah. So my daughter and my son both play. I coach my daughter's team, and I really enjoy it. Girls hockey, these girls are so much fun to be around. For whatever reason, my daughter's older, but the girls are very coachable. And as a coach, you appreciate that. Every time you're talking there, you know, you got at least 15 eyeballs, sets of eyeballs on you. And they just want to have fun, and they want to have fun, and they want to learn. And you know, they're competitive for sure. But you know, there's always a lot of smiles coming off the ice. And I love it. It's been fantastic. I've seen the growth of her as a player, and you know, her cultivating that love of hockey. You know, that's my number one priority as a coach, and to see that in other people's kids as well is it's a absolutely a huge blessing that I have, that I'm able to do that.
Who do you have you patterned your coaching style after anybody? Do you ever feel like when you're giving advice, like, oh my God, this is what Coach Cooper said to me, or I'm being influenced by something I heard 12 years ago? Anything like that?
You know what? I remember, I can't remember how many years ago it was, but Rick Bonus, when he was our D coach, I remember asking him, kind of, because he started out, I think he was like a player coach for a little bit, and then they asked him to be assistant, and then he kind of, his progression was like kind of right out of the playing. And I asked him, like, how did you develop your coaching style? And Bones told me that he said, I just wanted to be the coach that when I was a player that I would have wanted to have. So that's how he tried to, I don't know if that makes sense or not, but he's trying to coach how he would have wanted to be coached as a player. And so I'm kind of trying to do the same thing. You know, you're trying to give the right instructions. You're trying to be clear. You never want to babble on, which I'm probably doing with you, is just babbling on. You're like,
I love this. No, this is
don't
great.
babble on.
No.
But yeah, you want to be kind of really clear. And you know, I like doing the drills the right way, so I'm a stickler for details. And as a player, I always like that too. But you know, kind of fast-paced practices, not a lot of talking at the board, have fun, compete, and then just like, you know, get off the ice and look at yourself and be like, man, I had a great day and I worked hard. And as a coach, if you see the kids kind of smiling and sweating at the same time, you know, you accomplished your goal.
And I like that you kind of said the girls are coachable, which I feel like means that they don't have egos compared to what like boys would have. So that could make life a whole lot easier for you.
Yeah, their attention span, especially at this age, is just a little bit, it's a little different. Girls have a little different maturity level. And you know, most people would probably agree that our parents, but for whatever reason, my son's team is a little harder. It's a little more of a herding the cats kind of routine than the girls. So
how good are you guys?
You know what? We're competitive. We got some girls that have started hockey within the last year and a bit here, and I'm so proud of those girls. They've come like miles in just a year, and how far they've come. We have players that have played for a while, and they're definitely the leaders on our team. So we got a good mix of veterans and kind of so-called like beginners / rookies, and it's a good mix.
So are you spending a lot of your time now kind of focusing on that? You're like, oh man, I got some free time. I'm going to drop a play here. This is going to be great for the next game. Is that kind of what you're spending your time on now?
I don't spend a ton of time on it. I'll take time and make sure that I'm thinking about my practices and how many people we're going to have and kind of organizing that stuff. But for the most part, it takes up, you know, a small portion of my time. And then the other part of it, you know, is taking kids to school, dropping them off, being at their other activities where my kids are doing guitar. And my son, I decided I would always ask them, they'd come home from guitar and they would be like, okay, you guys got to practice. And my son would be like, oh, I don't have anything to practice. And I was kind of just like not happy with that answer. So I started going to the guitar lessons with him and the teacher, so I can, you know, learn a little bit myself, but also then me and my son can practice together. It's kind of a cool thing. And I thought it was a neat thing I could do with him. And I have the time to do it, Seth. So I got to be creative, but it was cool. And I've been working on doing stuff like that and watching soccer and flag football and trying to improve my golf game with little success, but it's been good.
That's great. As long as you're not bored. Like, that's the thing. Cause like, you're a young guy, you're like, what, 36 or something like that. I mean, so when you retire, you got to make sure that there's tons of stuff to do.
Yeah. And that was kind of always the plan. The first year out, I really kind of wanted to take the time and absorb my family and kind of put myself in their routines and be there as much as I can for them. And then kind of take time to figure out what I want to do with the next chapter of my life.
What point, this will be the last question so you can get back to flag football and all those other things. At what point this season was there a moment where you really, really missed not being with the team? Was it during the stadium series, or was there something else, a game where you go, man, I wish I was in that group hug or that flight home?
Yeah, there's probably two, well, I guess three now. It was training camp. Training camp rolls around and something in my biology is like telling me like, hey, it's training camp. Like, we need that there's all this excitement and butterflies you get from being in training camp, new guys competing, seeing where you're fitting on the team, just the excitement of the new year. Part of me was kind of having a little bit of, I guess you could say, FOMO in training camp. But, the other part was definitely stadium series. I think you saw the guys doing that. I was lucky enough to play in two of them. I played one in Fenway, one is in Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. I know how much fun those things are. And it looks like those guys had a blast. And then the other part is right now, getting ready for playoffs, dialing it up, that intensity and that competitiveness and that, that thing where you look at someone else in the eyes and you're like, try to beat me 4 times in a row. I dare you, like I'll break your arm before you do it, so, there's that fire that lights up in your belly and you miss that. And it's hard to replace that when you're not playing.
Man, well, listen, I mean, if you got to sneak out into the ice during a game or something like that, we can make it happen. We'll figure it out. We'll put you in like some Bogosian jerseys or something like that. Listen, Kobe, I love catching
I was thinking like Thunderbug.
Thunderbug's great. Yeah, Thunderbug, it's a great way to get into the game and not have to pay the playoff prices if you are going to be Thunderbug. So, but I'm sure you could probably just walk in there.
Yeah, I don't remember that video. I think it was Bieksa. He was like, they had like all those pranks when he was with Anaheim. He was like, I think he was like as like an old guy, like the ice crew. And he was, guys, take it out of the way. I thought that was hilarious. That was so funny when he did that. But maybe I'll have to think of something like that.
Yeah, hopefully we see you like on a Zamboni during intermission or something like that. Listen, Kobe, love catching up with you, man. Glad you got to go to the White House. I'm glad that the Lightning thought about you. Happy everything's going well for you in your retirement. You want to get into the podcast world, I think you'd be great at it. But for now, just be a very frequent guest on the Block Party. That's good enough for me.
Love it, buddy. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure.